Who pushes your buttons more, this girl with a loud purple hair or the boy with the hoodie with only his eyes showing? What is the worst prejudice you've had about a student that turned out to be completely inaccurate? These are really obvious examples of what may trigger us during a school day that we may interpret differently depending on the stories we tell ourselves. How would you react to either of these students? What about a student that just immigrated from Romania? He has a very basic knowledge of the classroom language, isn't showing much enthusiasm for the task. How do you speak with him? What are your expectations of him? And the student from Finland, whose family has moved to the area just for a year on business. Is there any difference between your expectations of her or the other student? A German student comes to class mid-year, has a very strong accent in the classroom language, and barely ever smiles. What are your assumptions? You have them, I promise you. We live in societies that influence us whether we're aware of it or not, and media has a large influence on our belief system. To fight these subliminal messages, we need to reflect on how we see our students, how much is true, and how much is influenced by the stories we are telling ourselves. For instance, what thoughts come to your head when you see this photo? Who is she? Where is she from? Why is she smiling? Who are her friends? How many followers does she have? I can tell you what I know about her, but what's important right now is that you're thinking about her and that you recognize that you began thinking about her the minute you saw her photo. Let's try another one. Who are these people? What religion do they practice? Where's the mother? What does the father do? Are they refugees? What language do they speak at home? It doesn't matter what I tell you about them. What's important is the story you are making up in your head about them, whether positive or negative. One more, okay? Or two more. What are your thoughts when you see these two girls? Is one of them more likely in your head to be better at maths and sciences? Is the other one more likely in your head to be good only at art and have trouble with everything else? What are you telling yourself about them? Is your instinct to speak more slowly to one and expect more from the other? Sit one in the beginning of the class and the other way in the back? There is no judgment here. I've been there and I've done all the wrong things. I've acted on really skewed expectations, and then I realized what I was doing, and I began reflecting on what was behind the way I acted around different students, and I began fighting my own hidden prejudices. I never knew they were guiding my attitudes towards my students. And think about how much media, movies, miniseries influence us. In how many shows is the Indian taxi driver depicted with an incredibly strong accent, dim-witted, and socially inept in Western movies? How often, again, in maybe American movies, are the British portrayed as elitist and arrogant? Have you counted the series in which a German character, not a German miniseries, is eccentric and antisocial? In Western shows, don't we usually see the Spaniards as flamboyant and naive to cultural subtleties? We need to ask ourselves, how much does what we imbibe from the media influence our expectations of our students? This is your chance to begin breaking down those ideas and looking at them from all sides. We can transform our classroom and our relationship with our students simply by reflecting on our hidden prejudices. And in this way, we become even more powerful educators. And the great news is you can find a myriad of activities that will help you and your students explore your hidden prejudices and elements of language that will dissolve all those subliminal prejudices at scaffoldingmagic.com. We can turn around all of these hidden messages by just reflecting. As uncomfortable as it may be for us, and in workshops, I always find teachers that get very defensive very quickly because they don't want to do this. They don't believe that they have these prejudices. They do. We can reflect on it and become more powerful educators. So click on the link below. Find the online classes and activities that will help you be super educators. See you soon. For more educational tips like this, please press like and subscribe.